It's a loaded phrase. If negative campaigning can't work in one sense, and negative campaigning does work in another sense. If by negative campaign you mean an unfair, below the belt, nasty attack, it won't work. It generally tends to blow up. If by negative campaigning you mean a sharp contrast between your position and your opponent's position, or highlighting a shortcoming in their approach to the issue, then if people see it as fair and appropriate, then it may work. But it's the difference between, for example, in 2004, we made continued effort to highlight John Kerry's statement that he actually voted for the $87 billion for war funding before he voted against it. People saw that as fair and appropriate because it was his words, and it was an illuminating. It resonated with what they sort of felt about him and crystallized their opinions about him, and so that was appropriate. But
the thing with in the same campaign with the veterans,
Swift vote veterans.
What do you some people say would you?
It wasn't.
No, but what are your opinion about?
What was interesting to me was the first ad, I think, was seen as unfair in some quarters because it was people who had served with John Kerry attacking him. So it became a he said argument, and as a result, some people accepted it and a lot of people didn't. The second ad they ran was enormously powerful because it was John Kerry's own voice from an audio tape of his testimony before Congress in 1972 with a picture of him in which he said that his fellow comrades in Vietnam had routinely raped and pillaged in a manner reminiscent of Genghis Khan. And he said it in a very phony Boston Brahmin accent. And people looked at that and were startled that he would attack his comrades in arms in such a way and make such a scurrilous charge, and that hurt him deeply.
So in that respect, it worked even.
Well, again, it was because it was his words and his opinions, and it caused people to say, "You feel that the U.S. military, the men that you served with, quote, routinely raped and pillaged in a manner reminiscent of Genghis Khan?" I mean, it was like people were startled by it.
But was that close to what you would say acceptable?
Sure.
It was acceptable.
Sure, absolutely. Because it was what he said and what he did, which at the time he was very proud of, and used it as a basis for running for Congress. He ran for Congress shortly thereafter, based on his leadership of Vietnam veterans against the war.